Welcome to my next video on support and resistance. This is the next step in technical analysis right after trend lines. And so if you understand how to do trend lines, then this is going to be a breeze. To start off, let me tell you what support and resistance is. Support is a price or level at which buyers step in and buy, sending the stock or index higher. And resistance is the exact opposite. It is a level or price where sellers step in and sell, causing the stock or index to go lower. Okay? So to start off, there's basically three things you need to know about support and resistance. So the first is you need to know your main levels of support and resistance. And to do that, all you have to do is on your graph, you have to find the highest point it's gone and the lowest point it's gone. Okay, and those are your main levels. All you're going to do is you're going to come over and you're going to draw a horizontal line at the points at the highest point, and that's going to be your level of resistance. And then you're going to come over here and you're going to draw a horizontal line at your lowest point on your graph, and that's going to be your level of support. Okay, so you can see obviously with these two lines established, this support and this resistance established, you already have a good idea of 2 points when you probably should not buy or you probably should not sell. Okay, so if the Dow was coming down here and if it had gone up here and fallen more and it was getting close to 11,000, you're going to wait and you're going to see. And if it bounces at 11,000 and doesn't go below 11,000, you're going to want to buy. And if this were a stock and that were $11, you'd want to buy. Okay, because it hit that level of support and it bounced, and the level of support held true. Okay, and now when we're looking at resistance, this is a perfect example in the Dow where we hit this level, this 13,000, and we fell a little bit. And then we moved back up, hit it again, and as you can see, the next day we're down pretty good. And that right there is a big red flag. If you were in a stock and say that was $13 and it had hit $13 over here, then kind of fell a little bit, and then went back up and hit $13 again, and then the next day, was down to $12.75, you're going to want to sell that. It's a big indicator that level of resistance held true and the stock is not going to go any higher. So you're at the high point. Okay, so that's going to help you maximize that profit and minimize the loss. So the next step and the next thing you need to know about support and resistance is the most complex step. Now listen carefully. Previous levels of support can become new levels of resistance, and previous levels of resistance can become new levels of support. Okay, and so we have an example of that right here in this stock, or in this chart. Right here, okay, you can see we bounced. So right there is a level of support. It is a shorter term level of support. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line. You're going to draw your level of support just like that. It's a little low, but that'll be fine. So as you can see, the stock came down and bounced up off that level of support. So that is an established level of support. And now when you draw that all the way over here, you can see very clearly that the Dow has bounced off that level every time. It hasn't gone above that. So now it is a level of resistance where it was a level of support. Okay, so that's very key. And the opposite can happen as well. So that's one way to know, hey, we need to be cautious, we need to be watching, we need to be ready to sell or ready to buy based on this. Okay, and so the last step and last thing you need to know about support and resistance is that these moving averages, this 50-day and this 200-day moving averages, can act as support and resistance. Okay, and I'm going to illustrate that right here. you can clearly see that this 200-day moving average is what the Dow bounced off of. That is that level. And right here, you can see that the Dow bounced off of this 50-day moving average. Okay, and it's just like these moving averages are a lot like trend lines. If the Dow breaks as it did right here and goes underneath this moving average, it broke a level of support, and that's a red flag. That's a selling point. It would be a little scary to hold this because it looks like it kind of bottomed out, but the resistance held true and it fell further. Okay, and we have the benefit of hindsight now, but you want to be cautious and you want to be watching these things. So moving averages can also act as support and resistance. So I hope this has helped you, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment or visit me at my blog, thestocktalk.net, and you can contact me through that. More to come, so stay tuned. Have a great day.